If celebrities have one thing, it's audacity, and today's story proves exactly that. Oprah is freaking out after Ice Cube revealed how she has been part of the same Hollywood gatekeepers that are trying to control child stars and spread their agenda. The dark secrets of Hollywood are finally being exposed, and Oprah is at the center, controlling everything from within the shadows. Ice Cube is giving us the exact playbook these elites are using.
I think Hollywood has two agendas. It's profit, but it's also propaganda.
Really? Tell me more.
Yeah, well, I think they want to influence society, with these movies, and sometimes that's more important than making the money. And then sometimes the money's is the most important. You never know which, God, is being served here, which master is being served here, so to speak. Sometimes when you're making a movie, because, certain things are done purely for the propaganda of it.
Why do you think, I'm assuming not everyone in Hollywood is into propaganda, but it seems like some movies are. Why do you think a part of Hollywood wants to project propaganda so much and serve an agenda versus just make great art?
I think movie companies, for the most part, a lot of them started and were owned by the same people who want to engineer society anyway. It's kind of, just part of their portfolio. Some of these, folks are so rich, Hollywood is a toy.
Ice Cube was never part of mainstream media, and now he's talking about the real reason why. As soon as Ice Cube started exposing Hollywood for what it really is, he was blackballed from movies, TV shows, and even music. One of the most successful black rappers of all time couldn't get a music deal and wasn't allowed on any interviews. Even Oprah, someone who claims she has been trying to uplift black artists, refused to have Ice Cube on simply because he didn't agree with the mainstream narratives.
They don't like that I'm, an independent thinker. I'm not part of the herd. I'm not part of the go along to get along gang, so to speak. So, I'm an outsider. And so, I'm not part of the club.
This is the reality of the situation. Every major studio, producer, and director is part of the same group, trying to push the same agenda and promote the same ideas. The second you speak out or start to ask questions, they either try to silence you with money or blackball you from the industry. Ice Cube lost a $9 million movie deal because he didn't want to be quiet, and then he was kicked out of the industry. This is where Ice Cube brought up Oprah saying that Oprah was the one who surprised him the most because her persona is completely different to what she really is. Even the other actors and musicians that go on these shows are part of the same club, and unless you agree to cover up their crimes, they're not going to let you succeed.
What platforms have banned you?
I've been I tried to go on The View. They didn't have me on The View.
Why?
Well, a few of the guests just really didn't like where I was coming from. So, or a few of the hosts, So that's what I was told by the producers. I don't know if the producers was just copping out and using some of the hosts to not have me come on and explain myself, but...
You'd be a good booking for them.
I've been on there before.
Yeah.
It's just when I've became an independent thinker, when I've, I'm not, I don't follow their brand of politics, I guess.
But if you can't think for yourself, then you're not really free, are you?
No, you're not. You're not. But I've been excluded. I've been excluded on Oprah,
On Oprah?
On Oprah, yeah, I've been excluded. Yeah, man.
I would think you'd be the person Oprah would want to promote. You grew up in South Central, you were successful at a young age, you have dignity, you say what you think. I thought that was the goal.
Me too. I don't know what it is, but, several of my, I had a movie called Barbershop,
Yeah, I remember.
That I wasn't invited to participate with the cast. I produced a show called Black White, and it was a very controversial show. And once again, they had the whole cast on, but I wasn't invited. And so I don't know. I don't know what that's
on Oprah's show.
Yeah, so I don't know what that's.
But Oprah's obviously a saintly, godlike figure who's revered by all decent people. Why would she exclude you?
I really don't know. You know, that's something that I would love to find out. But I can't tell you, you know, if there's a single thing that I've done or said to her.
Have you noticed that it is more controversial to criticize Oprah than to burn the American flag?
Really?
Seems that way. I've never heard anybody criticize Oprah. Do you think it's political or do you think it's deeper than that? I mean, you're not like a right-winger.
No.
No?
No.
You don't even seem that political.
No, I'm not really. I'm pretty much, you know, just want to do right by the people, you know. So if that comes through political means, that comes through the private sector, wherever it comes, you know, I'm down to work with whoever's down to do something right for the people.
The casting couch culture in Hollywood and stories of abuse that span decades aren't random crimes. These things have been going on ever since this group of gatekeepers took over, and the real reason this doesn't end is because no one speaks up. The actors, producers, and the directors are all silent. Just look at how Oprah was best friends with Harvey Weinstein and was even photographed kissing him. Everyone knew the kind of person Harvey Weinstein was, but Oprah still tried to protect his image and send child actors his way.
3 days after Oprah publicly supported victims of sexual assault in the wake of numerous allegations against Harvey Weinstein, singer Seal Instagrammed this meme. Showing Winfrey kissing the disgraced mogul, it reads, "When you have been part of the problem for decades, but suddenly they all think you are the solution."
Please welcome Seal!
The 54-year-old who's appeared on Oprah's show captioned his post, "Oh, I forgot, that's right, you'd heard the rumors, but you had no idea he was actually serially assaulting young starry-eyed actresses, my bad." While Weinstein maintains his innocence, Seal hasn't commented further, and Oprah has not responded.
This moment is a really powerful time for everybody to get woke.
Fans have come to her defense, pointing out Winfrey is a sexual assault survivor. They also posted pics of Seal's ex, Heidi Klum, kissing Weinstein too.
While the rest of Hollywood worked with people like Harvey Weinstein, R. Kelly, and Diddy, Ice Cube always stayed away because he knew that associating with this group wasn't the right thing. A small group of directors, producers, screenwriters, and music executives hold all the power in Hollywood, and in recent years, we've seen only some of them be exposed. Harvey Weinstein, Sean Diddy Combs, R. Kelly, Woody Allen, these were all huge names in the film and music business. They probably worked with hundreds of performers. Everyone in the industry knew about the abuse, but they remained silent to protect their careers. Allegedly, one of these elites is Oprah.
I just think, you know, the people who have the ultimate say are people who engineer society in other ways anyway, whether it's, you know, banking or school, medicine, you know, hospitals, colleges, you know, they want people to think a certain way anyway. And these are the same people who own studios, so that's how that junk gets made.
I have never been near a puff party. Never been near. And anybody who knows me knows if there is a party, I'm the first one out.
Right.
I'm the first one out.
I stopped by Puffy's house for 30 minutes to say happy birthday to him during the day at 2 o'clock with staff people, and out of that came a love affair and all kinds of stuff that I have never seen.
You too?
Yes!
Yes, you too?
Yes! Now I'm almost 70 years old. What do I look like? And I am a grandfather. What do I look like at this late day?
Now, what was Oprah's role in this group? Allegedly, Oprah was the one helping them pick new victims. These victims were allegedly being taken from Oprah's school, the Oprah Winfrey Leadership Academy for Girls in South Africa, back in 2007 and then again in 2009. Reports came out that teachers that Oprah hired were taking advantage of 12 and 13-year-old girls at her school. Some of these girls also disappeared, and there are rumors that she is actually tracking them to be used by Hollywood elites.
The trial of a former dormitory matron charged with abusing
with 6 students at Oprah Winfrey School for Girls in South Africa is resuming. Prosecutors say former dorm matron Tina Virginia Makopo tried to kiss and f the girls. She's also accused of kicking and hitting some of them. Makopo pleaded innocent to 14 charges of indecent assault and criminal injury in South Africa. Meanwhile, in Philadelphia, the ex-headmistress of the $40 million school is suing Winfrey for defamation. The suit claims someone would conclude from Winfrey's comments that the school employee knew of the alleged abuse and was actively involved in covering it up.
I was, needless to say, devastated and really shaken to my core.
Winfrey said she was disappointed in the former headmistress. The TV talk show host also made comments about students who felt there was an atmosphere of repression at the school.
And I spoke to all the girls personally, and I encouraged all of them, any of them who had actually been harmed, to please come forward.
The lawsuit asked for more than $250,000 in damages.
Oprah has denied all of these allegations, but she can't hide the past. Why is it that every major celebrity that is exposed ends up being one of Oprah's best friends? We've seen this happen again and again, and anyone who dares to speak about it is barred from going on any mainstream show.
And so to hear people say things that are just crazy, like I'm a part of a cabal and there's a whole conspiracy with children, that stuff makes me sad. It makes me sad more than anything that people would believe it. And, you know, it's taken me a long time to get to the point that I'm not, I don't feel hurt by it. I don't feel personally hurt by it.
After Harvey Weinstein was exposed, Oprah started to pretend like she had always been against him. Somehow she's a saint that just ends up being friends with every predator she sees. One tweet about the situation said Oprah is all in with the global elite pedophiles. How many pedophiles are friends with Epstein? Weinstein, Cosby, John the God, and Epstein. That's 5 too many. Oprah should be named and shamed for who she really is.
Let's talk about what's happening with Harvey Weinstein. I know you posted on Facebook already, but you haven't kind of spoken yet publicly about what's going on.
I think that this is, I'm always trying to look for the rainbow in the cloud, whatever is the silver lining. And this is what I do know for sure. When something this major happens, when you have the fallout, 50 women coming forward, that it's a watershed moment. And what I do believe is actually happening is that, first of all, it's triggering a lot of unreleased pain, repressed anger, guilt, and suffering that a lot of women have had. I happened to be on set with several actresses the other day, and we were filming some things, and they hadn't slept over a period of 2 or 3 days, and I was like, what is that? I said, oh, you guys are suffering from PTSD.
And when you start talking about it out loud, too,
everybody has a story. Everybody has a story. And so I think this is a watershed moment. And if we make this just about Harvey Weinstein, then we will have lost this moment. I think this is a moment where no matter what business you work in, there have been women who not only had the disease to please, that's a part of it, but who felt that in order to keep my job, in order to keep my position, in order to keep moving forward, I've got to smile, I've got to look the other way, I got to pretend he didn't say that, I got to pretend he didn't touch me. I think those days are about to be over.
And if it happens to you back in the day, you would say, sometimes you're not even aware what he just said wasn't really inappropriate.
I know you've had a couple moments.
Where you just think, what did he just say?
Yes, I remember Gail had a moment when she came and said to me what somebody said that was so inappropriate. I was like, oh my God, you can sue over that. But
no, and all I said was, what did you say? And then they repeated it.
Yes. Terrible.
I just sat there typing with my 20-something-year-old.
You pretend you didn't hear it.
Yes.
You pretend it's okay. You pretend you didn't.
No, it isn't. You're right, Jeff. You're absolutely right.
But a lot of women have been silenced, and I know.
But I do think it's going to change.
Being a victim of child sex, that when you feel like you cannot be heard, and then other people start speaking out, it makes you feel like, oh, now I can speak out too.
Yeah. So, and you've been speaking about it for years.
Yeah.
Ice Cube even sent a warning to Oprah's group of elites last year and said that he was going to expose every single one for their crimes. He's been part of the industry for decades and saw firsthand all the disgusting things that go on behind the doors. The second you're not useful for these elites anymore, they kick you out and label you as crazy or someone difficult to work with.
Yo, what's cracking? You know what it is. It's your homeboy Ice Cube. And some of you may not have realized that I'm not part of the club. And a lot of you listening to me right here, right now, you're not part of the club either. And what I realized with the club is what makes them so mad is when you don't want to be a part of the club. That pisses them off. What club am I talking about? I'm talking about the club of gatekeepers that we all got to deal with. You know who they are, and they definitely know who they are. A lot of people would be like, what, who? Come on, man, stop playing. So, ever since I put out the contract with Black America, you know they with me. Here and there, this and that. But it's cool, you know. I expect that.
This is where the story takes an even darker turn. Allegedly, Diddy was targeted because he had stopped being useful. These elites pinned all their crimes on him and let him take the blame for everything. There are videotapes of people involved with Diddy for decades, but he's the only one getting prosecuted in a RICO charge.
Diddy, you're hearing Diddy everywhere, okay?
Yeah.
So, did you ever have any kind of run-in with Diddy? Did you ever do anything with Diddy? Any projects you worked on with him?
Yeah, he's produced a few records, or had his producers do a few records on my War and Peace album, the Peace Disc. Yeah.
How was he to work with?
It was cool. You know, he gave us great music. We flew out to New York, and I was mainly in the studio with the producer. You know, he had a stable of producers, so I was in the studio with his stable of producers, and I think we did some great music. And you know, I really kind of, lost contact with him and really stopped, dealing with Puffy around 94.
Yeah. Any specific reason?
Yeah, I mean, they was doing their thing, I was doing mine. And, I'm not the partying type. You know what I mean? I ain't never been to a Diddy party. I ain't never really wanted to go. But I don't go to a lot of people parties. That just ain't what I'm in it for.
Here's the thing that shocked Ice Cube the most. When he first started exposing these elites, he thought that it was just the studio and music executives running the scene and forcing everyone into these acts. But the more he looked into it, the worse it got. It wasn't just the studios or the executives. All the actors and stars were in on it.
But I think the studios really wanted to have, kind of a little out, so they put it on the producers. Like, this is not us, this is this production, that production, this production, that production. I'm like, but it's every production. So you mean tell me every producer in Hollywood has this mandate? Give me a break. It has to come from the studio to hit every producer, because every producer don't think the same. Like,
right.
Some producers, had their own different opinions. So anyway, it was a studio mandate. They put it on individual producers. So producers talking to my people, and they're like, if he don't take it, he can't be in the movie. It's like, it's not taking it. It's not taking it. It's like, okay, he can't do the movie. Okay, no problem. They just proved that, they just kind of told on themselves that we got this wrong.
Yeah, and nobody wants to talk about it. That's the crazy thing, because all the news
nobody
stories,
can.
Yeah,
that's exactly what I'm talking about. The gatekeepers. Nobody can talk about it because somebody above them told them no. From this outlet, that outlet.
This is exactly why crimes go unpunished for decades in Hollywood, and why people like Bill Cosby, Harvey Weinstein, and Diddy escaped accountability for so long. The entire industry was involved in the cover-up. The victims were forced to stay silent. At times, these victims would turn into abusers themselves, and the cycle of violence would continue on. Gene Deal, Diddy's bodyguard, confirmed this too. Diddy wasn't always a bad person. He learned this behavior by staying in the industry.
It's about Hollywood managers who manage kids.
It's a racket, man.
Did you hear that kid from
They're
Strange?
just grooming these kids, dude.
That kid
grooming
from
them
Strange Things,
to
or
suck their dick.
Stranger Things.
He just left his manager, and they're alleging they just left their agent. See if you can find that. Owen Benjamin,
The curly-haired kid. Oh, yeah.
And
He's
Owen
in It,
Benjamin just put it on his Instagram today because Owen has been taking a lot of heat online because he said that a 3-year-old kid shouldn't be transgender, and people giving him a hard time saying he's a bigot. Like, are you out of your mind? When
What's
you're
up with this transgender?
Stranger Things actor dropped agent because of accused of assault. Disney star follows suit. Jesus Christ. This is nuts.
Watch
man.
an Open Secret, and they go through. Dude, they pick. They're accusing people. It's for free. I think on Vimeo.
Yeah, you
can watch it for free. An Open Secret.
Just on YouTube or something.
On Vimeo.
You know what Sturgill Simpson told me? He said the same thing exists in music.
What?
He said in music there's a bunch of pedos and pederasts
For sure.
in music as well.
The entertainment business all the way through. Music. This was about. This is about music and movies and TV. It's about the whole entertainment business.
Women and kids.
Mostly
get abused.
kids.
And
Mostly
sometimes
kids.
dudes. You know, Terry Crews said that he was attacked. Well, not attacked. Some dude grabbed his dick.
Taken from his
Some
wife.
famous dude grabbed his.
All these criminals were once a part of these same gatekeepers that control Hollywood now. Lord Jamar called it the gay mafia. Allegedly, this mafia controls Hollywood like the heads of the crime families, and all of the record companies are all connected to each other. They help each other cover up crimes and people. There is someone worse than Oprah on top, and they're the ones controlling everything.
Yeah, you got to trademark that. But do you believe hip-hop got a gay mafia?
Yes. Do I believe there's people behind the scenes that are homosexuals that are pushing buttons? Yes. Yes. And that they want you to be down with their in order to push the button for you? Absolutely. And this is part of it. You just saw one of the gay mafia members. That's who he is. That's who Puffy is. He's one of the members of the mob. He's a mafia member. But he might not be Don Carl. He's not the Godfather. You see? He's not the Godfather. He's one of the heads of the families. You see? We had different families in this thing. We got Bad Boy. We got what do we have? Death Row over here. We have the different we got Arista Records and LaFace. These are the families in the mafia. You dig? Those record companies are like families.
These elites know that they run the industry, and even though people like Ellen and Oprah are nice in front of the camera, in reality, they treat you like you're beneath them. It's all a fake persona that they use to draw you in.
There's an arrogance that some stars had, like particularly in the 90s. When I first came to Hollywood, and this is like really evident for me because I was not a star, but I was on a television show. So I got to be around a lot of stars. And there was a way that some of them would treat you. They would let you know that you are subhuman. You are below them. They would communicate with you in the most disrespectful and dismissive ways, like weird, like mousy guys that I could kill, like instantly, and they would just be rude to you in a really weird way because they had power. They had power, and then when an executive would come over, they would turn on the charm. They'd be smiling and laughing, and then you would talk to them at the craft service, and they would fucking dismiss you in the shittiest ways. I encountered a bunch of that.
Yeah.
It was commonplace, and it was, I think, a thing that they aspired to.
Whether you agree with Ice Cube's perspective or not, the conversation about power, influence, and what happens behind the scenes is only getting bigger. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next deep dive. And let us know in the comments. Do you think Hollywood protects its biggest names, or is there another side to the story? Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.